Good morning. I had a good night's sleep last night here at Sugar Creek. I'm taking off from the lovely campsite that I had. Got all packed up. Felt great, like I said, to sleep in my tent. It got me thinking about tents. I know there was some discussion, I think, on one of these pages about different types of tents. And as you can probably see, mine is not a freestanding tent. It's a Six Moons Design Lunar Solo. And I really like it. It's very spacious, lightweight, and but I also have a Nemo one-person ultralight Hornet Elite, and they weigh the same actually, but the Lunar Solo is more spacious than the Hornet Elite, and but I think they have different purposes. Like hold on, I'm going to cross this creek and then I'll get back to you. I'm back. I think they have two different purposes. Like I said, they weigh the same, but the Hornet Elite, what I do like about it is it's super easy, fast setup. It's not complicated at all. And I can set it up. I think I've timed myself in under like 2 minutes. It's pretty darn fast. And so that's one thing that's great about it. And I know it's going to hold up in the wind. And I also like it when I'm in places where I don't need the rain fly. Like I only carry the rain fly in case it rains, because it doesn't feel so claustrophobic with the rain fly off. But when I'm going to need the rain fly frequently, then I would prefer this Lunar Solo. The Lunar Solo, like I said, has more space. It did hold up really well in the wind the other day, making sure I'm going the right way. That I had, and there was some wind last night, and it held up great. So I really don't think wind is a factor. It does take a little longer to set up, maybe another minute or two, because you just have to get the guy lines just right. So it takes some practice. And that's it kind of on the tent review. I don't think you could go wrong with either of them. Again, it's personal preference. So that's kind of like my 2 cents worth. There's supposed to be some wonderful pools and waterfalls pretty quick after I leave camp here, so I'm looking for those. I don't want to miss those, and I hope to get some great pictures. Ready for another great day on the Ouachita Trail. After you cross Sugar Creek, there is a Forest Service road, an old abandoned road. You can see it. You can either go left or you can go right, and right didn't look good, so I went left because I was talking to y'all and missed the fact that there was a blue blaze right here. So I had to backtrack a little bit, but all is well. Rain that was forecasted for yesterday never did materialize, but the rain that was forecasted for today has arrived. Coming down pretty good. But when I left Sugar Creek this morning, it was already 65 degrees. So there's lots of wind, but at least it's warm. So hopefully when it stops raining, the wind will continue and help dry things out. We'll see what happens. bird trail. Accidentally taken, but highly rewarding. I didn't even realize I'd gotten off trail until I got up there and I thought, I haven't seen a blue blaze in a while. Whipped out my map and sure enough, I had taken the spur trail and I'm so glad I did. It was beautiful up there. Very windy, but beautiful. 21.2 miles today, so not too bad. And I was going to stop about a half a mile back. There's a spot listed on Gut Hooks. It says it's near a Forest Service road and that there were a lot of tent sites. And when I got there, there were a lot of tent sites, but there was also some yucky garbage. There's like toilet paper and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, I'll just press on. And there was nothing listed. I found this little flat spot about a half a mile later. It's super close to the trail. But there's nothing else listed for a couple miles, and it's getting dark, so I was kind of tired, so I was ready to stop. So I stopped here and got my tent set up and gonna eat some dinner and hit the hay. Good morning. It rained off and on last night. It was a little windy. I wasn't expecting that, so I had to pack up wet gear this morning. Woke up pretty easily this morning. I don't know if it was because of the wind and the rain, but I'm getting a little earlier start. I'm getting started here at 6:45. I usually start around 7:30. I never set an alarm. I know some people do. I just figured I need to sleep as much as I need to sleep, and then I get up and go. So I have a resupply in a little under 7 miles, so I'm hoping the sun will come up by then and I can spread my gear out and let it dry out while I go through the resupply. I'm gonna try to do 23 miles today and get to Penny campsite. We'll see how that goes. If I do, I do, and if I don't, I don't. So no worries either way. The miles have been pretty easy since I got back on at Highway 27. The terrain has just been so much better and been able to hit those 20 miles every day, which has been nice. I wasn't expecting that either. Looking forward to another great day. I was glad to find that my resupply was all intact. If I had to store one again in that same location, I would have done it on the other side of the road. On the west side, there was better hiding places and it wasn't visible at all from the road. There's a big rock formation there that I could have put it behind. I just didn't know that was there. So if you're planning on doing this trip in the future and you want to leave a resupply there, the other side of the road would probably be the better option. I was able to jettison some of my gear there also, since I only have a day left, today and tomorrow. And my tent didn't get quite dry, so I have it strapped to the back of my pack right now to dry out. And I'll put it away later. Yeah, that was like a 35-40 minute break. Sure felt good. Hope this is the last uphill. I thought they said it was flat the last 40 miles. But I'm chugging up the hill here. I just saw 5 wild turkeys fly up off the ground and up into the trees. They were beautiful. Oh, when I'm going down to this ravine, I'm going to keep looking up in the trees and see if I can see them up in the trees. Boy, their tail feathers were gorgeous. Well, good evening. I ended up doing 21.1 miles today. I was going to try to do 23, and I have to tell you, I was getting tired, and I passed a hiker that was going westbound, and he said there was this great little campsite coming up here on the lake in about 2.5 miles, so I stopped here, and it is a beautiful campsite, and I'm going to be able to have this great sunset here on the lake, and looking forward to that. Like I said, it was a great day. I'll just have 16 miles and some change tomorrow to finish up. And just looking forward to relaxing here. I got here about 5 o'clock. So there was still time to keep hiking, but I was tired, so I stopped here. Oh, love the trail. Before I sign off for the night, I was going to talk to you about this piece of gear I have. This I had, my daughter got it for me several years ago, quite a few years ago, for Mother's Day. I'd asked for it, and it goes on my strap here. My water bottle fits in it, the smart water bottle does. And over the years, you can see where I've sewn it back together multiple times. And I thought, well, after this trip, I'm just gonna have to replace it. And it broke, I think, for good, just after I left my resupply. And I could sew it up tonight, but since I just have a little over 60 miles tomorrow, I think I'll just throw it away. when I get home and order a new one. When I do order a new one, I'm going to get one that's made more out of mesh, like this right here, because the problem I had with this one is air getting caught in it when you put the bottle in, because it's a snug fit and sometimes it's hard to push the bottle in. So I want to get something where the air can escape and it'll make it easier to slide in and out. But handy dandy little thing to have on your strap. Keeps your water close.
Last night there was a little bit of a lightning storm going on. I'd lay here in my tent. I could see the lake out there. I would see the flash of the lightning, and then I would use this very scientific method of counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, until I heard the thunder. And so it seemed like it was like 10 or 12 miles away. I had a little excitement to the night. It's after 7 o'clock and I'm still in my sleeping bag and nestled in this morning because it started raining about 4 a.m. It's still raining. It's finally starting to let up, so I'm starting to stir a little bit. I could tell by the forecast it was supposed to let up significantly by 8 o'clock, so I thought, well, if I start moving around 7-ish, I could get my stuff packed up and leave by 8. Just 16 miles today, so I got plenty of time, so I'm not worried about making it to the park because it closes at sunset. We'd lock the gates, but I think I'll make it in plenty of time.
Well, that's a wrap of the Ouachita Trail, and it was a wonderful trail. I would say the last couple of hours were just a slog because all it did was rain. It was just pouring down, raining the last 2 or 3 hours. It was crazy. Anyway, here's something that's also crazy is when I finished the Ozark Highlands Trail back in, I think it was December, I got back, I found out I had a tick right on my rear end, and my poor daughter had to get the tick off for me because I couldn't get to it. And I was surprised because it was kind of cold and I didn't think I would have a tick issue this time. But last night as I was washing up and cleaning up, I found a tick on my hip. So I could get that one myself. So I think I'm tickless now, but just kind of tickled me that there's so many ticks. Sorry for all the puns. Happy trails.